Well, Magnus, welcome to Frightfest.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here. Tell us, without giving away any secret spoilers, what the film's about. Dark Sense.
Yeah, so Dark Sense is about a young man who's got psychic abilities, and he's tormented by seeing visions of a serial killer that's killing, and he knows that he can confront him, but because he's psychic, he also knows by confronting him he's going to die at the end of the story.
And it's based on a book.
It's based on a book called First and Only by author Peter Flannery, and I basically read it on the Kindle and loved it, and I immediately sent a tweet off to the author saying, what a great book, it should be a film. And then I got a tweet back from him saying, ho ho, maybe one day. And then in the end, my wife picked up the Kindle about a year later and went, I just read this book, it should be a film. And I went, right, okay, well maybe I should do something about that. And so we got in touch, we set up an option agreement and kind of took it from there. And that went through a crowdfunding campaign where we raised, I think, just over 54,000, and that was back in 2014.
Ooh.
And so we then used that money to create a short film and get the first draft of the script created, and that was had a lot of the book in it, because the book originally goes to America and all this sort of stuff, whereas we're going, right, we've got a much more limited budget than that. So just getting the script right took a long time to get it to the point where we went, right, we can actually do that. And there was a lot of knocking on doors, and we did SEIS equity fundraisers and stuff like that, and we got to a point where we eventually had enough money where we just went, can we make it for that amount? And it was just like, well, we've got to give it a try, otherwise that will just fritter away on accounts fees and stuff like that. So.
And you know, with lower budget films, often what lets them down is quite frankly, the quality of the cast. Now, that's not an issue in your film. How did you find your cast?
So when we did the short film, we started working with a casting director called Simone Perrihind, who's based in Edinburgh. She'd been down in London before, but that was one of the big things that I learned as part of the process. If you get a good casting director, that gives potential cast that you can reach a bit more confidence. It's their brand as well as associated with you, and I think that made a big difference, because suddenly we were able to access better talent than we would have if I'd just done a Facebook casting, which we were intending to do at one point. Then, I mean, I don't know who we would have ended up with, but it would have been much harder work to find a really good quality cast. And I really, I love the cast that we've got. They've done an exceptional job. And you know, we had something like a 30-day filming window for the film. And there's sections where we had big kind of A-frames up, people on wires and all the rest of it. So, you know, we did spend very frugally, but a lot of budget, if you like. So while we were building A-frames, you know, people were hammering it with mallets and all the rest of it, and we were cutting and we were shooting quite kind of very kind of sensitive scenes underneath it, and everybody just had to shut up. We shoot the sensitive scene, and then they're bang, 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 bang again. So the cast did a great job considering that sort of working environment.
And how hard is it to make these type of films in Scotland?
There's a great willingness within the industry to help you, and I'd say that, and so the people in the industry are really, really great. Everybody wants to get paid something, which is entirely justifiable, because everybody's got to pay their mortgages, but the challenges are probably developing the films, getting the films developed, getting a script that's going to be good enough to make it into a film, and that's very hard to get money for. There's a few film schemes up in Scotland which you can access, but there's difficulties with them. They're getting better and better all the time, and they're working to try and resolve some of the more tricky aspects of that, because they've got a hard selection process just trying to decide who they should give that money to. So that's gradually getting better and better all the time. So there is a willingness, and I mean, I compare it as like at another film festival, speaking to an American filmmaker and say, so what do you have access to? And it said, is there any kind of funds that you can easily access them? Like, no, we've got nothing, nothing at all. Whereas in the UK, there are these funding pots, which you can have a go at in various ways, but actually, at least there's something there.
Yeah. Okay. So Dark Sense is in the kind of rear mirror. What's next?
So I've got another film which is an adaptation, which is in development, which is another bestseller, HarperCollins bestseller. So we'll hopefully be able to announce more on that. So that's coming through. So that's just getting the script developed at the moment. And then I've got a zombie film, which which I just think would just be a lot of fun to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it will be hilarious, and I can't really say much more than that about it. But it's got a lot of fun in it. And then we've got a historical drama that I'm also developing as well, which is about a very sensitive Scottish kind of event that happened at the end of World War One. So there's quite a lot of different projects in development, and you never know which one's going to kind of catch on first. So we develop all of these things away as we go. But yeah, I mean, it's fantastic that Dark Sense has got into Frightfest, and we've even just meeting the people around the festival, it's such an energy and kind of enthusiasm for films. There was one guy who I was speaking to yesterday, he's a Scot as well, and he said that he'd been coming to Frightfest for like 10 years from the Middle East, where he now lives. And he just comes across here every year to come to Frightfest, which is just shows you like the passion that people have for Frightfest. So.
Well.